I'm putting the #1 halfback out of high school on a 1-star college and seeing what happens. Meet Walter Ware, a 6'5" bulldozer from Tampa, Florida, who also has 94 speed. But nobody thought USF could get him to commit until he decided to stay near home because his mom got really sick. Playing for a team like the Bulls, he has a very difficult season schedule ahead of him with teams like Alabama, Miami, and Florida on it. And being on Heisman mode with my vision isn't going to help either. We have 3 skill points at the moment, but I'm not sure if I want to spend them on any abilities like 360 yet, so we're just going to get into his first game against Boise State. And I will be playing his entire freshman season in this video. I'm not surprised there's already rain coming down here in Tampa. We couldn't get loose there. But eventually I'm hoping that it happens and they're tackling us for a loss. This is not exactly an ideal start. I mean, we're playing Boise State. They had Ashton Genty last season, so they should know a thing or two about locking up the run, but we caught that first down pass, and right here we're going to get about 7 or 8. That is a sizable gain right there. I mean, we can try to bulldoze through players. It just might not always work. Right here, gonna take this handoff and we're going down. If anything, I think the first thing we should focus on upgrading with Walter Ware is his speed, even though right here he's gonna get his biggest gain yet. And I'm pretty happy with how this first quarter's gone so far. Man-to-man coverage, but Byron Brown goes down. If we're gonna tie this game up, we need to make sure that we're at least in field goal range. We almost got out of there. And worst case scenario, we won't pick up this 3rd down, though that could have been bad. The ball came loose at the last second. We'd kick our field goal, and now we're trying to throw the ball right here. I thought I was about to get that catch, but that definitely works as well. We're in a decent position right here, just got to get a block. I think right now though we're averaging like 6 yards per carry at the minimum. That's not terrible. It's just Walter Ware is going to be reliant to pick us up this 3rd and 4, and he might get loose to the outside. One person stopping us. You know, it might not be the worst thing in the world to mix in a little play action after a run like that. We're going to throw for a touchdown. And to start this second half, we have the ball again. We are up by 7 points, and I want to get a big run. The thing is though, at the moment they are pressing one of our receivers that has 98 speed. I thought we might just throw it deep to him, but I think besides being fast, he has like nothing else going for him. We're gonna pick up the stretch on 3rd and short, and that's gonna get us even more. 100 rushing yards, 12 carries. I'd say that is a pretty solid start here at USF, but there's definitely been a couple holes that Walter Ware could have hit a little bit better. Either way though, we needed to start this season with a win. I think we're setting up to do that at the moment, and I think I need to make the quarters a minute longer going forward just because it's only 10-3. Even though we're closely approaching that 4th quarter, it feels like we've only been in here for a little bit, and Walter Ware's finally getting pulled. At least it was only for a play though. It's understandable that he's gonna get tired eventually the longer this game goes on for, and he is getting closer and closer to pulling off a big run. He's just got to fight his way in. He's short. I mean, at 6'5", I'm expecting him to be hard to take down, wide open gap. And that is the first touchdown in the 5-star's career here at USF. Now, Boise State is not making things easy. They have immediately scored, which means it's back within a possession. But hang on, Walter Ware gets loose right here, and we're all the way to the 30. He's already had 19 carries in this game. Maybe 6 minutes is the perfect length for some of these quarters. And this is a great debut for the freshman 5-star, but he's going down short. We have no more play changes remaining, so we have to hope that Byron Brown makes the right read here on 3rd and 2, and he does. Walter Ware almost gets a touchdown. Going for 2 in this game would be pretty sweet. He's going to shed that first tackle, going down at the 2, but now he is being taken off of the field. After that, USF would reach the end zone. We have the ball back again after our defense got a stop, but it's not going to go to Walter Ware, and he's simply just out there on the field to try and help us run out the rest of this clock. I am feeling pretty good about the result we've been able to get in this game though, even if we're not picking this up, except it made me sim, and all of a sudden we are in overtime. I just have to assume that after scoring a touchdown, they somehow got the onside kick and scored again. But there is no reason that this game should not be over right now. I can't change the play calls or anything, so we're just going to have to hope that we don't mess this drive up. And it's already 3rd and 14 where we're throwing the ball right here. I don't think I'm going to be able to get open, so we're just going to have to trust our defense. Apparently, Boise State really messed things up because they're going to lose this one 27-24. And I cannot believe that we didn't only come away with a win here, but we also got player of the game. I wish I could watch our defense play in Road to Glory, but you'll see right here, they missed a 36-yard field goal in overtime. And then to even come back in the first place, there's the onside kick that they recovered. That was a pretty stressful first week, but Weston Wolf, my teammate's having an even worse week. He just said, my girl broke up with me. I need to spend some time with the boys. I'm torn up about it. And I might not spend the entire week with my teammate, but I am going to agree to spend some time with him. I can't believe that asking for her number is even an option in this situation. Walter Ware's been on campus campus for like 2 weeks and he already had a chance to be a menace. Instead, we're going to increase his leadership. And I think he's going to have to recover his health a lot throughout this season just because of how much I want him to touch the ball. Right now, if I had to figure out what I want to spend our skill points on, I think I would have to just save up for quickness, because if we get 13, we can have like 99 speed. But that's going to take a lot of extra work through practice as well. So we're going to do some stuff like this rushing attack. Right here, Walter Ware might have the speed to just dust them all. It turns out though, that's because rushing attack is just the easiest practice mode in this game. You can do anything. And no matter what, you should always finish with a gold medal. The easy stuff is out of the way though. We're about to have one of the hardest 5-game slates I could think of. We have to play at Florida, at number 3 Miami, against Navy on the road, at number 4 Alabama, and then capping it off against number 17 Tulane. So I'm not feeling good about this, but we'll see what happens versus the Gators. Not only do we have to play in the swamp, but I know their offense is going to be solid with DJ Lagway. And that is why it is crucial we find a way to score on every single drive against Florida. Now, Walter Ware hasn't done anything so far, but we are off to a pretty solid start. And right here, he's going to break free. There is nobody in the stadium catching him. That is literally perfect. We could not have had a better way to open things up. And our defense has also been able to hold the Gators, so now we're going for another touchdown. The problem that we're probably going to run into, though, is their defensive line is just so much better. And our offensive line is not going to hold up. Here on 3rd down, I didn't think we would run the ball, but we're going to get enough. Well, you can tell the type of game we're going for against them, trying to milk the clock too. But I don't know how I feel about mixing in some play action. Byron Brown's going to have to get rid of it, and that could have been picked. It is now 3rd and 6. They've sent in a blitz. Throw me the football. That was not ideal, but we have gotten the ball back. Final play the first quarter, or maybe the second to last play. I'm not sure what exactly happened there, but it's 3rd down. I think it's going to be a long game against the Gators. They're probably going to stop us a bunch. And if we're going to have any shot at picking up this 3rd and 6, I think it's through running the ball, and that's exactly what's going to work. Every time Byron Brown has dropped back to throw it, I've not been too excited. And that's because he seems to hold on to the ball for longer than he should. I think I have been motioned out here on 2nd and 12, but he's going down. It's about to be another drive where we get stopped. I mean, I'm stuck on 3rd and 15. I can't help him make a block. And the Gators would get onto the board where we're going with an RPO right here. I thought I was about to get the handoff. All right, it's time for Walter Ware to try and make a difference. We're cutting up the middle. We're not going to get out of there. But I think if we can make this the final drive of the first half, that would be enough. I am a little bit concerned about his wear and tear, though. You can see it's starting to pick up. Our center can't block. And here we go. It's 3rd and 8. They're going to send in a blitz. Byron Brown gets it out. Walter Ware's coming away with it. Hang on. We actually have a chance to score here. I'm going to be completely honest. I thought that was like a guaranteed sack. The inside zone just isn't happening. And here we go. 2nd and 12. It's going to be another handoff, but we don't have the speed to get around him. I think we've messed this drive up. There's no way that we get a touchdown out of it. And now we have to hope that we make the field goal. Well, not only did we miss it, but we gave up points to start this second half. So we're trailing by 7. And it's not looking good for us, even though I thought we were set up pretty well. It's going to be 3rd and short. This is a tough spot to be in. Our blocks are not there, but our defense has given us some hope. At the end of the 3rd quarter, we are getting the ball back down in this spot, so we can still tie things up. At the moment, we have rushed for more yards than we've thrown for. They haven't had much success either. But if we're going to break off some decent runs, we're going to need the blocking to hold up right here, and I can't make him miss. I really hope we can pick up this 3rd and 3. The blocks are there. We hit the 2nd level, and Byron Brown has a read option chance here to pull it. He does. I just don't know how far he's going to be able to go. He's in the end zone. Well, there you have it. We have tied it up here in the swamp, and we have also been able to get a stop, but our wear and tear is picking up, so I'm not sure how we're going to finish off this game. Getting this many carries, this was probably inevitable. I mean, it's kicked in a bit sooner than I would have liked, but now we have to decide if it's worth it to try and throw the ball or just run it right here. I'm not sure how I feel about this, but we are going to get enough. Now we need Byron Brown to get this ball out, not take a sack. He throws an interception. And they're probably going to get a field goal at least. I should have just continued to run the ball. To make matters worse, they scored a touchdown. I mean, there's only so much that I can do right here. And the wear and tear is super bad. We should not be handing this off because I'm like -10 speed. We are going to need a miracle on 3rd down. I didn't call for that, and I was just trying to clear out for everybody else. Right here, though, I will try to get open, and they're saying that wasn't a first down. Like I said, the wear and tear was super bad. You can see that I'm losing, like, all my stats. But I think we just got cheated out of potentially getting a win at Florida. This team might be able to compete better than I was thinking. They're also giving me a chance to pick up some extra reps, so we're going to do the 3-cone drill. And I was hoping this was a permanent change, but it's just for our upcoming game. That really wasn't worth the energy, considering we're going to have to spend probably 3 3 to just fully recover. And now I know that if we can't beat either Miami or Alabama this season, we have no shot at making the playoffs. That is a huge goal to have for Walter Ware's freshman season, but I want to see if we can actually make it happen. I mean, Tulane would be a quality win for us. We just have to figure out how we're going to be able to win more games, and I think that is through Walter Ware becoming even faster. We know that with his size, he's able to run over players in a one-on-one situation, but we also need him to have what it takes to break off a big run after he makes somebody miss, and he's still fighting. That is exactly what I'm looking for right there. We are going to get a couple good blocks again, 13 yards. But we are just 2 carries into this game, and his wear and tear is already looking really, really bad. I feel like that's one part of this game that EA just didn't tune as well as they should have. There's definitely problems with it. But I will say, I like how much success we're having on this drive, and I'm really hoping that can continue right here. Man-to-man coverage or zone, I don't know. We got it somewhere else. This is a crucial 3rd and 1, though. The blocks are going to hold for long enough. And the farther that we get down the field, the closer we are to scoring a touchdown, though. We're going to have to keep picking up 3rd downs. If there's any play that I trust, it is this one right here. We have long enough to block for the first. And I'm relying on Byron Brown to not throw an interception straight to them. I could even block to get us a touchdown. Now it's kind of on our offensive line to hold up right here. If we could, we would have scored. And that makes me so sad. It is now 3rd and goal, nowhere to go at all. But I've been able to hurry it up, so we're going to go for it on 4th and goal. Get the touchdown right here. There we go. It was a long drive, but it was pretty effective. We were able to score some points, and now we're going to look to do the same again. I think Byron Brown needs to throw it a little bit more. He hasn't gotten a great opportunity to do that yet in this game. Back-to-back completions. And that'll take some of the focus away from us just running the ball over and over because they were starting to stack the box. I think we can get this 3rd and 4 on the ground now. Walter Ware almost had a lane to go for it all. And that is so disappointing they got that tackle off in time. Byron Brown, though, gets a few more. Now, I feel like we're running it straight into the defense right here. Though we've been able to bounce off, Walter Ware is going to go all the way. That is another huge run out of him. I had like no hope in that situation. I thought we were going to get maybe a yard or two. Our defense also got a stop, so that means it is 14-3. I was trying to run out the rest of the first half. But after picking up that 1st down, maybe we should be going for some more points. Never mind. That could have easily been intercepted. Bad idea from me. We're going to run out the rest. And of course, now Miami is calling timeout, so there is a chance that they get some more points. They didn't there, but they did start the 3rd quarter with a touchdown to get this one back within a possession. We're up by 5. And after how tight the last 2 finishes have been, I think we need to be very mindful of the clock in this situation. Walter Ware is able to get us 9. I don't feel great about handing this ball off because inside zones have not been very effective. But it did work for us right there, and I feel like the read options should also pay off. Being out there in 5 wide, though, is a little bit more interesting. Byron Brown takes a sack, and I think that's how this drive is going to end. It's going to be super hard to pick up a 3rd and 14, though we're going to truck our way to it. This should now be the final play of the 3rd quarter. We're going to be going into the 4th quarter with a lead. I am stuck, but I don't care. I am so happy with how this one is going at the moment, and if we're open, we need to call for it. Byron Brown, all you have to do here is not throw an interception. If you want to toss it to Walter Ware, that works perfectly. And I think we have handled this game as best as we can so far. The inside zone gets us a little bit closer. I just really want to score another touchdown. We've barely gotten this play off in time, but I also understand we cannot risk throwing an interception right here. I want at least an 8-point lead, so we're going to kick our 3. That has paid off for us. Our defense has also gotten a stop, so we have the ball back. And without Cam Ward, Miami finds themselves in a pretty tough position. We need a 1st down. I think that would pretty much just end this game, though they've gotten in. And now we have to trust our kicker to hit a field goal. I mean, right now, I'm not sure Walter Ware even has another drive in him. But thankfully, we recovered the onside kick. Our kicker hit a field goal, so we can take a knee. We did just enough to make sure that Miami could not come back there at the end. And freshman 5-star Walter Ware gets player of the game. I feel like a win like that changes a lot for this season. I'm also going to make sure we study a lot for the big test because we've done nothing with our GPA. And of course, after that, the rest of our energy is just going to go back to recovering. He's taken loads, but it's paying off. We still have number 2 Alabama on the road coming up. We also have number 11 Tulane. They've not lost yet, but we're getting a little bit closer to being able to upgrade our speed. At the moment, we have 7 of the 13 skill points, and it's time that we start conference play at Navy. I love our troops, but I would also just love if we could demolish them today. And that's because every single one of our matchups has been super close so far. First play, we're getting a few. But I feel like if Walter Ware's acceleration was a little bit quicker, we would have had more. That missed pass means we're punting it back to Navy. But they didn't do anything with it either. Blocks actually look pretty good right there. We just got to make this kid miss. It should definitely be a change of pace going up against some of the American schools. Especially since we just faced a top 3 program in the country. We haven't necessarily had that much success on the ground yet though. Until right here, Walter Ware needs a little bit more. And I know just from all the other games we've played so far, we are due for a big run at some point, but right here, this also helps. I was not a big fan of what happened the last time we went 5 wide though. It's nice to see we didn't take a sack. And we should probably go right back to running the football. The cut up could have been better. A rushing touchdown here is not as important to me. I would much rather us just get into the end zone. Great throw from Byron Brown. And Walter Ware can worry about his stats the later we get into this game, especially if we're out on top by a couple possessions. I am still waiting for us to beat a team deep with our 98 speed wide receiver. It's not going to happen right here, though. We threw in his direction. And here we go. 3rd and 7 through the air. I think we're going to get open with the halfback angle route. But we have almost had more success catching passes than running. That might not be the worst thing in the world, though. First halfback screen of the season. Walter Ware is going to be able to get around a few of those guys. And now we're going to take this handoff. No, it's an RPO. Those always fake me out, but if they work for 25 yards, we'll take it. We are now inside the red zone again. The first block from our left guard was impressive. It is just that they are so prepared to stop Walter Ware, it's hard to get a big play. At least I know we're getting a field goal here no matter what. We're going to throw it to somebody open, though. Byron Brown gets another touchdown. And this is the type of first half that I was hoping for, where we could get a lead and then in the second half go crazy. I mean, we're still averaging 5 yards per carry, so it's not like Walter Ware's having a bad game, especially since he's got almost 100 receiving yards. I just want to see a little bit more out of him. Here on 2nd and 3, I am just going to have to block. It's going to allow Byron Brown to take off. He's going to get us past midfield. And this is how we need to end the first half. Keep in mind, this drive started in a really bad spot. That was almost a disaster. Terribly placed pass. But Byron Brown's going to hit us in stride right here. And once again, we're going up the sideline. We are making our difference out of the backfield. I mean, they just left us open. And I think we could easily score a touchdown right here, though I'm stuck. Byron Brown turns it over, and everything positive I was saying about him doesn't matter. We did not need to even force that. We had a field goal. But considering how long it took Navy to score 3 points here in the 3rd quarter, I don't think we have anything to worry about. It might be the first game of the season where we don't score a touchdown, though there's still time for that to happen. It might be the first game of the season where Walter Ware doesn't score a touchdown, but there's also time for him to break free. And we'll see what Byron Brown hits on this play. Walter Ware's open over in the flat, and we're going to go for the hurdle. We just cleared him. No matter what happens, this is the best we have played offensively. And we still have 6 minutes to get that rushing touchdown. I am waiting for the big run to break off. I didn't even do anything right there to spin out of that. And this is only Walter Ware's a freshman. He still has a long career ahead of him. Look at that. Breaking a tackle, he almost got loose. I know I'm supposed to run a route right here as well, so that's what we're going to do. It's placed above the defender's head, and we got to fight our way in. Come on. I guess it is time to go for the handoffs instead. I didn't even get it there. And look at how much Navy is trying to prevent the Walter Ware touchdown from happening. Yeah, we're losing yards. Here we go. 3rd and goal. Man-to-man coverage. Someone else is open. And if this means we're getting a win, we will be a successful decoy. That's our boy that got cheated on. I never asked him for his girlfriend's number. That was the right move. It means our team chemistry is at an all-time high. We're rushing for about 20. And there is still 2 minutes and 18 seconds left for Walter Ware to make a difference. Even without a massive rushing touchdown, I think this is the most yards he's had in a game so far. But we won't know the final totals until the end of the day, and we still have a couple more plays. I mean, that right side of the field is looking pretty wide open. It just isn't going to be taken advantage of right there, and now we are going to block so Byron Brown can miss. We are going to get one final run here at the end, but I think they're going to be able to stop us well short. But it doesn't really matter. We just won 24-3. We have completely dominated. That is exactly what I was hoping for. We did have about 5 yards per carry on the ground, but the receiving game is where things get interesting, because that's where you're going to see 177 yards. Since we studied last week as well, our GPA should be plenty high enough to not have to worry about it the rest of the year. And that's because it's sitting at a 3.8, but we are spending so much energy on just recovering our body. It is now time for the biggest matchup of the season, though. We have to play at Alabama, and I have a feeling that this is where we're going to pick up our second loss. Byron Brown is very confused, so we're not going to be able to audible much throughout this game, and all it's going to take is one interception from him to put us in a really bad spot. It is already 3rd and 9. I am not going to be able to call for the ball, though I think we've completed it, and there's no audibling out of the pass. We're going to continue to throw it. It seems to be working at the moment, though. Right here, I'm going to be open in the flat, and now it is 3rd and 7. I'm getting open with the halfback angle route. We're past midfield. It's so odd to not be able to change the play call and then make sure that we get some more carries with Walter Ware. I messed up that play. But you know what? We still had a sizable gain right here. We're going to take it, and Walter Ware gets us another first. I just know that we're not winning any of these battles up front, so we're going to have to get to the outside before everything collapses. And here we go. 2nd and 4 now. I will try to do my low halfback angle route, but we're to the 10. We're surprisingly doing pretty well against the Crimson Tide at the moment. We're going to the 3. And here we go. 2nd and goal. Blocks are lining up. We're still short. This is a huge play right here, and Walter Ware is going to get in. So maybe we do have some hope against Alabama. I mean, we saw their true offense versus Oklahoma and Michigan. And since we're not named Georgia, they're probably not going to play their best, though it is going to be 3rd and 4. I might have gotten excited a little prematurely. Byron Brown's going down. And Ty Simpson has led them down the field. Though right here, Walter Ware's getting a huge hole, and we just can't get around him. That is where 98, 99 speed could really pay off if we can unlock it. And I think we're going to be able to actually afford it in the coming weeks. We just need a few more points. There is a world where we could lose this game, still win our conference, and make it to the playoffs with USF. That is my hope. But of course, if we can just pull off the upset, that makes things 10 times easier. At the moment, we're not going to be in a bad position as long as we keep on moving it. But a drop pass makes it 2nd and 10, and now we're hitting our flat instead of Ware. I guess he was able to get us 9 yards, so we don't need much more to move the chains. We get it. But we're going to have to trust Byron Brown to not throw an interception, and you know what? We're open over there. We have got to punch this in. Walter Ware has a clean look. We're down in the end zone, and I have a feeling they might review it and take it back. That didn't happen, though, and they also didn't start the 3rd quarter how they would have wanted to. We are beating Alabama deep. They thought they could press that white dude over there, but they couldn't. I don't know how this is working out for us right now. But with 5 minutes left in the 4th quarter, we are up by 11 points. Our defense got another stop. And you best believe I'm going to be so smart about how we manage the rest of this clock. Byron Brown is going to get us the first down. I don't like that he got out of bounds, though. It's going to stop the clock. We need to make sure that it continues to run. And I just can't believe that we have an actual chance to win this one against the Crimson Tide. At this point, by the time they can even get the ball back, it's going to be under 2 minutes left, but another first down would really help our case right here, and we don't get it. That is perfectly fine, though. We've done all that we can. And by the time they scored, there's only 9 seconds left. We get the ball off the onside kick. So we can take the QB kneel, and we have taken down both Miami and Alabama on the road, both top 5 teams at the time of playing them. It wouldn't have been possible, of course, without Walter Ware's performance. And it looks like we're getting our first NIL offer from Oscar's Pizza. It says it's going to cost no energy, so there's no reason for us to not take the deal. I mean, we're only getting 250 followers a week, but our coach, trust, and leadership also get a small extra boost. And I think it makes sense to hang out with the guys, go to this walkthrough. It only cost us 1 energy. That is going to give us another boost to our leadership. And during these back-to-back bye weeks, we've been able to train a little bit more. I might have needed to study a bit more. Our GPA dropped back down to a 2.4, but I think it was worth it because if we level up one more time, our speed's going to be able to be upgraded. Some of these abilities I really wanted to unlock, but I think it makes the most sense for us to just keep on saving to get that quickness maxed out. And I gotta say, I am a little bit disappointed in Tulane. They're currently sitting at 3-2, so this is not going to be a ranked game on our schedule. But at least that should make it a little bit easier to win the American Conference Championship. If we can just go undefeated until then, we might make the playoffs. And the only thing getting in the way of that is if we end up losing to some lesser teams than the ones we've already beaten. It's been a while since we've gotten to play in front of our fans here at Raymond James Stadium. And I can tell you right now, with that Florida sun beaming down on these guys, they are dying out there. It is not an enjoyable experience, but I'm hoping Walter Ware can at least make up for it with some big runs. And we already find ourselves in a 3rd and 11 situation where that is going to be dropped. This is not exactly the ideal start, especially since they would then score. But I don't know what else to do. I mean, everybody out there on the field just continues to drop the football besides us. Now, the refs are reviewing whether or not this was a catch. I think it's an impressive play for a running back. And of course, they would give it to us. I mean, he dragged both of his feet, but we need to get some bigger runs. There has not been much of that action going on in this game. The blocks look perfect right there, though. And here we go. We're starting to get a little bit more comfortable versus Tulane. They also have to be able to guard the flat. That was an easy pickup for us. I'm open down the seam. Byron Brown just decided to run backwards before getting that one off instead. Either way, we've put ourselves in a position to get a field goal out of this drive. But I'm not happy with how it just ended. Even if Tulane's sitting at 3-2, they are a quality team. They're going to be hard to take down. And I am kind of hoping that Kentucky's able to steal their head coach next year. Walter Ware's not getting the football, though. I'm not sure what's going on on in Byron Brown's head. We would have had a first down. Now we're going to have to punt it. And this next drive is starting on the 6-yard line, so we have a lot of work to do with Walter Ware. He just got 5 right there, though, and now with the read option, we're getting a few more. But Tulane's done a pretty good job of bottling him up, and we haven't hit the holes the best. It's definitely been a slow start for him in this one, though right here, I'm going for the hurdle. We get a first. And I should probably be trying to truck through players with the size he has, not spinning. It's just bad habits at this point, and right here, they could have picked that easily. I don't like how much we have struggled offensively in this one. I think that's going to be placed perfectly, though. And Byron Brown just redeemed himself for some of the very questionable reads he's been making. I will let him do that right here as well. See if he can throw it deep at all. I'm pretty much just trying to block. Scrambling is also going to get us a first down. And he was one of the main reasons I chose USF as the school I wanted to use as a 1-star. But then he throws the interception, so he just ruined that. Tulane should not be beating us at the moment. And they've made things even worse, scoring before the half. It is now 14-3, though we still have a chance to get in field goal range. We just need him to actually throw the ball to the right players on the field. We had somebody better open. But I guess he didn't want the touchdown to Smith. That pitch over to Ware is going to work wonders, though. Get out of bounds. All right, we still need about 15 more yards. I think we're going to get closer right here. But we can't mess it up from this point throwing an interception. We just need to get a little bit closer to field goal range. It was a close call, but we have done our job. And to start this second half, we have the ball. Walter Ware is going to have an opportunity to get a nice carry here as well. 3 guys are going to miss. After we upgrade his speed, I would also like to get spin cycle on him because I think that's going to lead to some big plays. Or whatever it's called. It might be 360 in this game. Either way, he's getting some larger runs. There are so many things he still needs to upgrade throughout his career. Right here, though, we might have a touchdown. We just need Walter Ware to have longer strides than those two. It is unreasonable to expect a freshman running back to be like the fastest player on the field. But it would have been nice if we finished that off because now I think we're going to struggle to get it unless Byron Brown takes it in. Now for the 2-point conversion, it will be in Walter Ware's hands. He is an easy lane to take. But unfortunately, Tulane would score another touchdown, and I will say his wear and tear is starting to pick up. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get the win against them. I mean, he's going to be taken out at some point. We had a touchdown. All I had to do was not truck there. I didn't expect that kid to just completely miss. Byron Brown, though, completes it to the 30. And here we go. We just need him to not turn the ball over. No interceptions, easy checkdowns. Those work wonders. He's still having himself a pretty good game. Right here, Walter Ware gets the carry. We're going to end the third quarter this way. And I just have to hope that during this short TV timeout, he can recover a bit. I think the wear and tear is really going to hold us back with this finish. I don't like that we're not getting anything. And they've come up so aggressively to stop the run on 3rd and 4. We have no choice but to pass it. Right here, Walter Ware catches it. He's in the end zone. He might be limping off the field, but he has done enough on this drive. And then Tulane kicked a field goal, so we're in a spot where we have to get points on this drive. I'm not happy about the position that we're in because right now his wear and tear is like -10 speed. That could have been a huge play. But at least we're still out there on the field, so we can kind of control what is happening. On 3rd and 5, we're going to immediately run over to the flat. If it's not there, we got to have it. And I was going to run the play back until we had a false start. It is now 4th and 10. This game is on the line at the moment. And it's going to be caught by our tight end. We're alive. That was a close call, but Byron Brown gets it done. I don't know why he's throwing straight at that corner. At least it worked out for us, though, and we aren't going to get the handoff. No, he wants to force it. I have never seen anything like this. There is no reason to put that ball in that spot when we had an easy pickup. But you know what? We have to get a touchdown here, so we're just going to have to trust him, and I should not be calling for this. I actually think a quarterback draw might be our best option on this 2nd and 6. We're just going to need him to actually pick things up. I don't know where he's at. And here we go. It is 3rd and 4. They send in the blitz, but we catch a touchdown. At the moment, I have -17 speed. There is nothing I can do. But it doesn't matter. Our defense was out there on the field. They get the final stop. And I think Byron Brown deserves player of the game a little bit more. Although he had that one interception, he was 21 for 28. It was probably the most yards we have passed for all season. Though we had 131 receiving yards. Kind of forgot about that. The entire offense runs through one player, but of course, I'm going to credit my teammates. Just got to keep it humble. Since I can't spend energy on it, it's the only way to get our leadership up. And it is time to spend our 13 hard-earned skill points to upgrade our speed. It's going to max out at a 99, though acceleration and stamina are 98. Of course, after we recover our health, our next focus will be unlocking some of these abilities. They only cost 3 to purchase. And there is part of me that also needs to make sure we stay academically eligible, so we should put some more energy into this too. I'd consider this a pretty successful season number 1 so far, but we still have 6 games left in conference play. And although we've probably gotten past our hardest opponents, any of these teams could take us down. We saw that against Tulane last week. There is also a real argument that at some point point we could appear in the Heisman Trophy race. And that's because even if the touchdown totals aren't there at the moment, we have done a lot through both the rushing game and the receiving game. So I'm very excited to see how the second half of this season plays out. If Memphis wasn't currently sitting at 2-4, this is one I would have worried about. But I think we should be okay in this scenario. We're running a reverse pass on the first play. I just wanted to test out Walter Ware's 99 speed. Instead, that's what we get stuck with. And this is what I'm hoping for. We can have huge runs with him now. It is all about getting past that first level, and he could be gone almost every time. But you also have to keep in mind, he should be almost unstoppable out of the receiving game if we can ever get open. There is no way anybody out there on the field is going to be able to keep up with him. We're getting to midfield now. And I am hoping that we can get this handoff right here to go to the outside. There's just a lot of players over there ready to stop him. You can already tell the difference that the speed is making though. We're getting some bigger runs. And if things line up perfectly, he should have multiple ones to the crib. We're breaking a tackle there, but losing a yard. It is now 3rd and 7. Memphis is going to pretty much leave us open over here to catch it. But they played us a little bit tighter there at the end than I was hoping for, and we should be able to get us another one right here. Now it's time for the Byron Brown quarterback draw. I'm ready to make some blocks for him as he should be able to get into the end zone. He has fumbled it away instead, though. That's a safety. That's a safety. I don't know how we just messed that up. But we are getting this ball back down 3-0. And I'm going to get open in the flat. I want Walter Ware to have himself a big game. It is bound to happen, especially if we continue to throw the ball, though we should take a sack right there. What are we doing? Why are we throwing that? Byron Brown is currently losing his mind back there. We're losing yards too. And it is now 3rd and 12 where we're going to be open, but we can't get it. Thankfully, our defense has forced a turnover, so we have it on the 30-yard line the next time we have the ball. I just messed that one up by getting us tackled right there. We should have gotten a lot more than we did, and now we're at the 10. Before we score a touchdown, I think we need to run some time off the clock, so I don't necessarily want to get in right here. And now it is time for Walter Ware to shine. The blocks are lining up. We're going to get a tutty. Memphis would start the third quarter with the ball. Pretty sure they got a field goal, but they wouldn't get anything more than that. So we still have a lead, and right here, we just needed a block. That one tackle is going to make it to where we couldn't score right there, though we are still putting up some good numbers. I was expecting us to rush for a lot more than we're catching, but it feels like that's the easier way to get yards. And I still feel like we've gotten a pretty good number of carries. They've just figured out how to shut it down a little bit better. Not right there though. We are now down to the 9-yard line. Walter Ware gets a little bit closer. And with how bunched up everybody is right here, I'm expecting the touchdown, but we're short. I mean, if this was a pass, Smith would literally be wide open, but we can't control that now. We have to go for it. And I don't like hurrying it up in this situation, but we get the touchdown. That is 2 on the day. Memphis also couldn't do anything with their next drive. And I'm using the Iowa playbook for this video. I like all the RPO options that we have in case the run is stuff. I think it made the difference right there. We're running stretch on 3rd down, and Walter Ware has one dude that's just going to be able to catch him. Even with his 99 speed, there's a lot of times where he just can't get it all the way. But there is an opportunity for him to get his 3rd rushing touchdown of the game in this spot. He just has to fight his way in. I mean, we're just going to hurry it up and continue to feed him the rock. That's short too. And I think it's kind of crazy. This is going to be his first game with 3 rushing touchdowns. It was only a matter of time though that he put up some really good numbers. And he's even been given a chance to get a 4th as we have it back, but he's also a bit slower. The wear and tear said he was already down -6 speed, which means he's at 93 speed. It's not like he's slow. He just isn't at that perfect ideal number anymore, and we're still going to be able to get to the red zone. At this point in the game, we know that Memphis is not going to take us down, but some better stats would always be nice, especially if we want to be in the Heisman Trophy race. Byron Brown, why are you even giving the Tigers a chance? Wait. If they return this for 6, they're still in it. I mean, thankfully, we have some receivers that can catch them. But I don't know why he threw it straight at the linebacker. We'll take our knee. At the end of the day, we're leaving Memphis, Tennessee with the win. And it's another Player of the Game award for Walter Ware. All that success also allowed us to rack up 3 skill points incredibly quick. So I think we're going to get our improved juke moves with 360. And I'll be spamming the spin even more next week, but we've won National Offensive Player of the Week for the first time. There's still no sign of Walter Ware in the Heisman race, though. And there's no sign of USF in the top 25, which is ridiculous. We won on the road at the number 3 team and the number 2 team at the time of playing them. Our only loss is also at Florida, who's also ranked in the top 25, but I guess we're just gonna have to continue to prove ourselves. At the moment, Tulsa's one of the better teams in the conference, which means we could have ourselves a battle here since they're 6-2. I feel like we have played so many games on the road this season, not very many at home, and I'm not a big fan of that. We'll see what we can do though against them. Breaking a tackle avoids losing yards. On 2nd and 10, we're gonna get a look at inside inside zone, it's going to allow us to get 9. But I forgot to change our playbook before loading into this one, so we could be in a bit of trouble. I'm not sure what to expect out of USF's. I know that it's supposed to be more of a passing one, but maybe that could help us out a little bit. We're going to be open right here. Somebody else is as well, though. It was a great throw from Byron Brown. I also like how spaced out everybody is right here, though we have to pick that dude up. And I think if we do so, we could have a huge running lane with Walter where the RPO was guarded. It is now 3rd and 5. We are going to get stuck. But it's not going to matter. We should still catch this. And I am glad we're allowed to go for this on 4th and inches. They let us hurry the ball up. I feel like that was a pretty strange first quarter. There was like no points scored. But we have put ourselves in a pretty good position to eventually get in. Surely it is only a matter of time before we break one off. It is going to be 3rd and 1. And there has been too many runs for like no gains in this game. I mean, we are about to finish this drive off. I just don't like the yards per carry at the moment. But more importantly, we have to take down 6-2 Tulsa. That should be our main focus. Right here, Byron Brown is going to have plenty of time to get us to midfield. And I will say, maybe we aren't running the ball as well, but he is definitely throwing it better. There could be some positives to using this playbook going forward, especially if we figure things out. But unfortunately, we're being taken off the field. The next time we're going to be out there, this is pretty much the final play of the first half. We're going to get to midfield. I just don't think I can get down to the end zone in time to have a chance at catching this Hail Mary. Hang on. Give me this. Give me this. It was kind of hard to tell, but it looked like it almost just bounced into our arms there. And we're starting this 3rd quarter with the rock, where my vision is going to lead to us getting like 5 or 6. I don't like running the ball out of the gun as much. I liked it a lot more in the single back and the I-form formations. But this is what we are stuck with for this game. And right here, we're going to get ourselves 10. I almost feel like not that much has changed since going up to 99 speed. We seem to run for about the same. But that could also change over the course of this season. And I didn't even call for the ball right there, though the spin was nice. We have got to upgrade 360 more throughout the year. I think we have to upgrade our spin move first, though. And on 2nd and 6, we're going to get this carry. I wanted to cut it back to go for the first down. We truck our way through. Now it's time for some halfback base. Whenever I'm playing in actual games, this is one of my favorite runs. And it's because the blocking seems to be better on the next level instead of inside zone. I think that's how we're going to get into the end zone right here, staying in hurry up mode. And Tulsa drove it all the way down the field, but they failed to capitalize on that effort, scoring a touchdown. We got the 4th down stop, getting us the ball, and right here, there's a lane for us to have a huge carry. But they are able to get to us just in time again, and no. Byron Brown should not be throwing it there. I was even calling for it. There was no reason to force it straight to him. And now things are all tied up. Plus, I'm dealing with wear and tear effects. At the moment, I'm down like 7 speed. This is the same play that he turned it over on the last time. I'm going to call for it a lot quicker. I don't want him to make the same mistake. And I think if I manage things right, this could be the final drive of the game, but I also should be taken off the field. At the moment, we are losing 15 speed. Walter Ware is exhausted. But we kind of need to be out there on the field to make sure that we don't blow this to them at the end. I clearly just can't run the ball at the moment, though. It is now 3rd and 7. That is a great read. And coming out on the other side of the 2-minute timeout, it is 2nd and 10 for us where we're not getting much, which means I just have to hope for the best on this 3rd and 7. And they could have picked it again. We're going to have to settle for a field goal. But something must have happened after that because we got the ball back. They had to have thrown a pick. We can't run out the rest of the clock, though, unless we pick up another first down, so I'm not going to be greedy. I decided we should throw for it, and we get a touchdown. There was no way with negative 18 speed I was running for a first down. And it is enough for us to get the win over Tulsa, but our defense had to clutch up. I'm still not sure what they did exactly. Again, I wish I could watch the defense. But it turns out after our field goal, they did throw an interception, like I guess. I have never seen a health situation this bad before in Road to Glory, but you can recover it with 3 energy. And it seems like the difficult games are not behind us yet. We're about to play against 7-1 Charlotte, who besides UAB is the last game on our schedule that I'm really worried about. There is always the chance that we could see them again in the American Conference Championship. We're ranked inside the top 25 on one poll, and that is the college football playoff poll, so that's a good sign that we can still get into the playoffs. But before we finish the rest of this video, a word from Prize Picks, today's video sponsor. The college football semifinals are just a couple of days away now, and I'm here to make them even better as Prize Picks is giving $50 to anybody that signs up using my code CODEBOARD. If you think you know sports, this is a great opportunity to predict player performances, choosing higher or lower on their projection. And this map should show you whether or not Prize Picks is available in your state. If you want to try it out, like I said, right now CODEBOARD will get you $50 instantly whenever you play with your first $5 plus lineup. But please, make sure that you play responsibly, and now it's time to get back to the rest of this video. Just looking through the rest of the top 25. There is no other team that's a group of 5 that is ranked at the moment. We're the highest one. So as long as we win out, we're automatically going to get that group of 5 spot. I don't think that should be too much of an issue. But if it were ever going to happen, it would be against Charlotte, so we better make sure that we don't lose. They have already stuffed the run once, though we're going to get open to make sure we pick up the first. And I think this is a team that we can beat deep if we need to, though that was a tight throw. I'll take it, though, as long as we're moving the chains. Now we're going to get this handoff, see if we can bounce it out. But whenever the run isn't working, there is one that always works out for us, and that is this halfback inside zone. It is so consistent. We're also going to try a little bit of a sweep right here, see if I can get around everybody. It's not happening. And Walter Ware's 99 speed isn't doing as much for him as I thought it would. We are going to use him as a decoy right here, a little bit of a play action. That's going to be a throw that could have been picked. But at least for a second, it looked like Byron Brown was doing the right thing, and we were open, but instead we went to the flat. It is what it is. 3rd and 3, halfback angle route, easy for us to convert on. We're also going to spin. And I think with a front like that, inside zone should work wonders for us as we're going to get a touchdown. This is a great start here in Tampa in this game, but they had no issues driving down the field, and we're honestly fortunate that they got away with just a field goal. I know that they're going to give us a tough matchup here on 3rd and 5. I want that toss so we can just run with it, throw a dude off of us, and we'll let Byron Brown make a read somewhere else on this play right here, but he didn't throw for much. We literally got ourselves an entire yard versus Charlotte. Right here, though, halfback base allows us to get 7, and this is the perfect setup to just hand it off and make sure that we move the chains. Ideally, we can end this first half with the ball, though they're shooting the run, and if they're going to play us that aggressive, we'll see what type of look we can get out of throwing it. It's going to be man-to-man. Somebody surely was open. It just didn't lead to a completion. Now we're trying to get our little toss play here. Instead, we're throwing it straight at him. Byron Brown's turned it over, and now we have to try and make a tackle. Thankfully, we forced a 3 and out because that is not how I wanted that drive to go. We also have so much wear and tear, we can't outrun these kids far, and we're even being taken off of the field. We wouldn't get put back into the game until there's 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, so we missed a drive where we scored a touchdown. And I think one of the problems is we have like 7 straight games in a row since we had 2 bye weeks in a row, and that doesn't give us much time to rest. This will probably be something we have to deal with all the way up until conference championship week when there's more time to take a break. And after Byron Brown picked up 8 on the ground, I'm going to lose yards. It is 3rd and 5, and they are going to allow us to hopefully pick this up. But we fell short, and we're being taken out again. Apparently, we went for it on 4th and 1, and we converted, though. So our team is still doing us well. It's just like every other carry, we're getting taken out. From there, we're not playing the rest of the game. It just simmed the rest of it. We won 28-12. But even if that is the right result, it is the worst game Walter Ware's had all season. I can't believe he won player of the game. It must have been an arm injury or something that put him out, because that is severe. Everything else is not broken up at all. And for having a severe risk of injury, it's going to be pretty cheap for us to recover. To be honest, if there's anything that we should upgrade, it is probably improve fatigue recovery. That can't hurt us. And we're starting to pick up some abilities alongside moving up to number 21 in the polls. Again, all we have to do is win out from here. We haven't even locked in our spot to the conference championship yet, but we're definitely getting closer, and FAU is 1-8 going into this matchup. There is a chance that we still have an injured left arm though, and that means my expectations for this game just can't be that high. We're getting shoved backwards. That was quite possibly the worst start imaginable. Right here, we could have had that picked, and I think we're simply just going to hand this one off and settle for giving the ball straight back to them. I didn't want Byron Brown to have another chance at throwing an interception. We ended up getting a stop, and now right here, we're getting a huge run. We just couldn't get all the way free right there. I am so wide open, and no one was on us. I'm spam calling for the ball. It doesn't seem to make a difference. Halfback screen, though, we are going to get the target. And here we go. It is now 3rd and 6. I'm just going to make sure that we move the chains. We cannot lose to a 1-8 score. There is zero circumstances where that is acceptable. Byron Brown is going to have to run. And we're almost through the entire 1st quarter where we have done almost nothing impressive in this one, though that was a decent run. All right, we're going to run this play again. It's the one that I got so open on. This time, we're going to get the target, and we're just going to hurdle our way in. I think we have found another way to have success in this playbook. But the wear and tear effects here in the 1st quarter are enormous. We're already down to halfway. We're being taken off. We've only had 5 carries. And I don't understand why this is already having a big impact on us. We haven't gotten back out onto the field until we're starting the 2nd half, which is just crazy because we've only had 5 carries in this game so far. This is going to be number 6, and they're able to catch us. It is not looking good for Walter Ware and his effect on some of these matchups recently. And I've done all that I can. I already set the fatigue super low in this road to glory, so we would get more carries. If you don't adjust it, you will literally miss like half of the game. so I had to do it. We're fighting for a first, but the refs aren't going to give it to us, so we're just going to have to take it on the 3rd and 1. The last time we ran this play was at the start of the game. We lost like 5 yards on it, and I have to say, I feel like we're regressing the farther we get throughout this season. What is important, though, is our team continues to take strides forward. I think we've been able to do that. I spun the wrong way, and this has not been a good showing at all, though. We are going to get open right here, and we're just not fast enough. It doesn't make any sense. Here on 3rd and 14, I'm going to hope that we can fight for the first, but instead, I think we just have to punt it or kick. We hit our field goal, so we still have a 2-possession lead, though that is not open. And we're going to be starting this 4th quarter with -7 speed, so that is going to take a big impact on the type of plays we can have. I'm afraid these next few weeks are going to be pretty rough. But before the conference championship starts, there is a bye week, so that should give us a chance to recover a bit more. That's really what Walter Ware needs right now. He just needs a chance to recover. Right here, though, we could have a touchdown, and we're not going to get caught by 28. Even tired as could be, he is breaking free. I have been waiting for a play like that all day last week as well. And I honestly wish we weren't getting any more carries, that he could get some rest for our next matchup, because this one's over. There's no reason to keep running it. At the moment, he's averaging like 10 yards per carry, though he could go for another touchdown. We have fumbled it away because I tried to hurdle. And that might have been stupid, but it was also worth the shot. I thought it could just add to a highlight play for us. I mean, they're all over it now. And here we go, 3rd and 5, probably our last rushing attempt of the day, but it went for absolutely nothing. Apparently, we would score another touchdown. I wasn't out there for that either. I'm pretty sure we only got 1 in this game, but apparently I'm forgetting about 1 because we did have 2 of them. There is still no recognition in the Heisman race, though. I was hoping we'd get our name up there. And I've just been impressed at how quickly we're earning skill points. We can spend another 3 of them. I think we're going to do it on improved fatigue recovery. We are still the only group of 5 team inside the top 25, so I know that we should be good for the playoffs. And that's even if we lost to a team like 1-9 Rice, because I think we should still win the conference championship. My main hope in this game is Walter Ware doesn't get exhausted after like 5 carries. And he's also going to have to help us start off this game right, because we find ourselves down 7-0, except it is about time that our very fast receiver broke free for a touchdown. What's crazy is Smith could do the same thing right here to start this drive as well. They are going to head over in his direction, but Byron Brown couldn't hook up with him, so now we're just going to hand it off right here, and there's like nowhere for us to go. 3rd and 7 now. We'll see if we can get open in the flat low halfback angle route. Always does the trick. And one 5-star recruit has really made this team shine. I mean, we're playing pretty well. I was not expecting 9-1 out of this season, especially after we lost to Florida. I thought we'd lose 3 or 4, but that has not been the case. It is now 3rd and 7. I'm going to immediately come over and possession catch it. And most of our success in this game has come through the air so far. We can still try to run the ball a lot, but they're getting in very quick. And we're only averaging about 2 yards per carry at the moment, though right here, Walter Ware cuts up. We might just be better off throwing the ball, especially if they're going to press. I mean, we can get open in the flat, assuming no one else does. But I'd prefer we just start scoring touchdowns quicker than anyone else, because I want to win this game. I don't want it to be tight. I feel like we're in a little bit better of a spot after getting in right there, and also having the ball down inside the 30 again. We're going to try to get more. But we haven't been able to truck very well so far, and that's an amazing RPO. I think moving forward, another thing we should focus on upgrading is our trucking ability. I know our strength is pretty low at the moment, and there's still over 2 minutes left in this first half. We're able to get past midfield, which means we have a chance to score again before the end of the quarter. This game is getting out of hand pretty quick for a game that was tight at one point. They scored the first 7 points, but now that they've gotten this interception, we're going to have to make the tackle. I don't understand why Byron Brown just ruined his stat line. He didn't have to force that throw right there. I was even calling for the ball, trying to help him, and he just did it again. He threw it straight at Rice, so we're going to try to run it to end this first half instead. There's no reason to risk another turnover. We're already in a pretty good spot, and I know this did not work the one other time we have tried it, but we're running a reverse pass right here, and we didn't go anywhere. If we're going to try stuff out, this is the team to do it against. We had to block right there, so Byron Brown could throw an interception. This is ridiculous. This game should basically be over already. Instead, it is now a 3-point-1. Rice is 1-9, and I just can't believe that they could take a lead if we're not able to score here. Here we go on 3rd and 11, man-to-man coverage. I didn't mean to secure catch it, and we've just given it back to them. Now, fortunately for us, they didn't do anything with it, and right here, we have a chance to break free for a huge run. We just need Walter Ware to keep on outrunning them, and it was a matter of time before he would just break free like that. Everything came together. The spin paid off. That was like a 93-yard run, and that is by far the longest touchdown run that Walter Ware has had all season, though right here, I was hoping we could get a catch. Byram decided to scramble instead. We are going to get this handoff instead of him keeping it, and I just realized there's a chance in this game we go for more rushing yards than we have had in any other one this year. It really wasn't looking good good until we had that huge touchdown. But I think it's worth seeing how well we can do now that we're in this spot and I missed the hole again. On the huge run, of course, we took it up the middle, though I want to bounce one to the outside instead. And here we go. It is 3rd and 5. We are going to get open past that man-to-man coverage, and if we outrun this kid, we're going to have our 3rd touchdown. This is a Heisman-level performance. I know it's against a 1-9 program, but it's still got the chance to be our best one. And our offensive line is simply not making it too easy for us. We're going to have to break a tackle here. We fight through. I don't care what anyone says. Give Walter Ware the Heisman Trophy. And this is literally perfect. We have a chance to get him more carries at the end of the game, even though he's already down like 9 speed because of wear and tear. I think if he were to reach the end zone, we'd have to stay in hurry up mode or something. Right here, it looked like he almost got out of there. And we might as well use a couple timeouts. This could affect him next week, but it is worth the shot at scoring some touchdowns. And here we go. Through the air, I'm going to call for it pretty quickly, though we threw it at them. Well, now it's 3rd and 8. We have one more opportunity, again, throwing it straight at Rice. And that wasn't how I wanted the game to end, but it was still very successful. 3 total touchdowns, probably 300 yards total with our receiving yards. And it looks like he had 167 on the ground while having 112 through the air. This is so much more fun starting as a 5-star than the last time I played Road to Glory. We are already in the Heisman race. But I don't think we've locked our spot into the conference championship because we only have the tiebreaker versus Charlotte, not Temple as well. That's actually a little bit concerning going on the road at 7-4 UAB. They're a higher overall technically. But I feel like if we were going to lose another game this season, we probably would have already done that. Now, the Blazers have the exact same colors as us, so we have to prove that we're the better green and gold team. But I don't think that should be much of an issue. Here on the read option, we're actually getting the carry. He'd run the next one for 6, and now we're going to get this handoff as well. We just got to get past that safety. I feel like the hurdle is our best option in those scenarios. Right here, I'm going to probably go for it again if we can just turn the corner. And this is the type of movement that we need to see if we're going to beat a bunch of guys to the end zone, going to the outside. They were ready for it that time, but we're going to get this handoff and get the 3rd and 1, I thought. Except we were marked a little bit short. It's 4th and inches. Inside zone should work, and it does the trick. This has been more of a ground and pound game than most of the ones we've played this season. And I'm just hoping that we can finish this drive off as we're going to cut up the middle and we're in. Our defense would also force a stop in the red zone. They got all the way down the field. We're breaking that tackle there. But unfortunately, we weren't able to take that one to the crib, even though there was probably a lane to do that at some point. Though Walter Ware is going to get a big gain for us. Lots of rushing yards in this performance already. If it's man-to-man coverage, they're probably not going to beat us out towards the sideline. And this is exactly what I'm hoping for. Remember, we are in the running for the Heisman Trophy. We have got to score lots of touchdowns still. I might just have to go for like 10 catches along with 25 carries. And if we can just hike this ball right now, number 2 is in the way. There's a flag on this play, but I think we're going to decline the penalty. There's just no reason to accept it. And I'm hoping that we can finish off the drive right here as we held our blocks for long enough. We've already gotten 2 rushing touchdowns in this game, and I'd imagine that before the half we should be able to get some more points. That was a pretty risky throw from Byron Brown right there, but we did come away with it, and I clearly need to call for the ball a little bit quicker like I did there. You can just tell when they're going to bring the heat sometimes. I'm not sure who that was intended for. I didn't call for it. And this is another situation right before the half where we turn it over and they have an opportunity to get back in the game. Sure enough, they scored a touchdown, so here we are looking to get a field goal or something in the final few seconds. And we'll see if we can get into field goal range in this short time period, but we can't. All right, it is time for the Hail Mary. It is our opportunity to go deep. I think right here, UAB is going to have a couple defenders back. We catch it though. We break free and we're in. What a miracle to end this first half. We're back up by 2 possessions. And I feel a lot more comfortable just running the ball all throughout this second half. I thought that was about to be a nice gain for us right there. We're not getting much more the next play. But this is our money formation. We'll see if we can get a nice run right here, and we do for 10. It's also the final week of the regular season, so we can have a bit more bulk and just let him get a bunch of carries. Because I'm pretty sure, at least in Road to Glory, there is a week before the conference championship. Now, apparently, at the end of that run, Byron Brown fumbled it away. But I had no way of rewatching it, so we're just going to have to trust that that's true. Right here, we need to beat one kid. Walter Ware is so fast that he just outran his blocker in that situation. And here we go, 3rd and 7, little bit of play action. I'm going to call for it, though it went somewhere else. Apparently, it was not a catch, though. And knowing that we're currently dealing with -8 speed as a wear and tear effect, on this next drive, I kind of wish we were just rested for the rest of the game because it's going to be harder to get big runs. I mean, there is still a slight chance that we can break off another 10, 12-yard gain, but I feel like if we're going to win the Heisman, we would have had to have had a better performance. It feels too late to try and pad the stats at this point, though we can make a 20-yard grab, and I'm not sure if we're even going to finish out this drive because of how much slower we are. There's a limit to how many carries you can get with a running back in a game. I mean, I'm taking this a lot slower. And I kind of hope that Byron Brown just puts the ball somewhere else on this play, or he could scramble for himself. That's going to get us another first down. I'm pretty sure there's no longer a difference between hitting R2 and not on a run, because that is how tired we are. I am not going to even call for it on 3rd and 8. And that's going to be the end of that drive. They refuse to take out Walter Ware though, even though you can see how much slower he is. And we just hit the 2-minute warning. We have a 10-point lead to protect that should be fine. But he is 30 carries into this one now, and I don't want him to get injured. My hope is on 3rd and 13, this ball just goes anywhere else. That works. And the final play of the game we're going to be out there for is a QB kneel. We handled business against one of the better teams in the American Conference. We won by double the score on the road, and this could be enough to get him some more Heisman votes. This is the worst that his health can possibly get though. At the moment, he has -20 speed, -20 carrying, and I really hope that does not affect him in the conference championship. Thankfully, there is a bye week before it. We can also spend his weekly agenda points just healing up from the injury. We ended up finishing with a 3.0 GPA, and I thought the conference championship was going to be a rematch against Charlotte, but that did not happen. Now, just looking at some of these other conference championship games, it seems like there's no path for us to get a first-round bye in the playoffs. But either way, if we want to get in, we have to take down Temple. They're averaging more points per game than us, but I don't care. Walter Ware is a Heisman finalist. He could actually win it as a freshman, and I think it is worth it for us to spend some skill points upgrading our sidestep, which we can do twice. We have a much better juke move. There is still a lot of other things we could have spent it on, like trucking. We would have had to save up more skill points for that. We also need to improve our elusiveness. But going into this game, I wanted to give us the best chance at breaking off some big runs. Jukes don't slow you down the same way spin moves do, so I'm going to try to incorporate them a bit more. We're playing this game at home. And our first drive is starting inside the red zone because of a turnover our defense has forced. We could not be more lucky. It is like we have been set up to score an early touchdown. Walter Ware gets close. And I think if we run back the same play, he should have no issues getting in. That has not been the case though. They're trying to prevent him from scoring. So it might have taken a little bit longer, but he still got it done. From here, we just have to hope that we can break off some huge runs. And I think we could actually do it. 29 is not going to catch him, but 31 still could. And this is exactly what we needed in the conference championship. The Heisman Trophy might actually become his. And Temple scored on their first play of their next drive, which actually helps us because we get it back sooner. This strong stretch play could actually be so effective for us, but we're not going to get another big touchdown run. Instead, we're going to have to work for it a bit harder. On 3rd and 7, we are going to probably just run for it with Byron Brown. I don't know if he made it, but it turns out he didn't, so we have to punt it back. Temple did nothing with it though. In fact, it puts us in a better position on the field. We're going to come away with the catch, but we're also scoring. There has been so many big plays in this game so far. I'm not sure I should have called for that quickly. And here we go. 2nd and 5. We're also going to get the halfback screen, have a chance to make a run for it. But I keep forgetting I'm supposed to be using the juke moves, not the spin moves, and it's going to cost us. Coach isn't letting us go for it on 4th and inches. And it looks like we're going to have one more opportunity before the end of this first half to get some points. If we don't though, that is completely fine. I'm not going to try and force it because I don't want Temple to have an opportunity to come back. They managed to use that to their advantage though. They scored points before the end of the quarter. And I just hope that we can break off a big run right here, though there's one guy bringing us down. This strong stretch play could be so effective. We just have to cut it back at the right time, and he is going to be gone for another touchdown. That is what we need. We now have 3 of them in this game. I'm hoping that we can still get 1 or 2 more. And it's feeling like a real possibility, knowing that his wear and tear hasn't gone down that much from this performance. We've already been able to reach that 200-yard total. They're going to stop us short though. And here we go. 3rd and 6, strong stretch, blown up. Here on the next drive, we're going to try it again though. I just got to take it up the middle. That's where the hole is. And they are selling out to stop the run. They're down by 18. Stop trying this much. If Ashton Genty couldn't win the Heisman Trophy with the stats that he had, there's no reason we should. And I had zero faith that we would score another touchdown, but this next drive started in a really good spot. We are now just 16 yards away, though our wear and tear is picking up. And I'm afraid that we don't have enough in the tank to get much more. Here on 3rd and 7, we're going to need the blocks to line up perfectly. And that simply was not the case. We have -18 speed at the moment. They're running some zone coverage, but we can still get another catch. And I think if anything, this will be the only way for us to have some catches as this time winds down on the clock. We are not going to rack up the yards any other way. Right here, we're going to get a bit closer. And I wish they weren't stacking the box this much because I think we could score a touchdown. Here on 2nd and goal, they're just going to go for the RPO instead of letting me keep it. And there's no way that this throw is able to get off in time. Yeah, they're not going to let us score. The wear and tear effects were too much on the body. We are going to get one final carry here at the end of the game. A fumble actually would have hurt us there. But as you can see, with like negative 20 speed, it's hard to move fast. And I just have to hope that we did enough with Walter Ware. I'm almost certain that after he hit 200 rushing yards, he averaged like 1 yard per carry. But either way, we can consider this a very successful season for USF. And it was so good that we ended up having our head coach win Coach of the Year. Our defensive coordinator also won an award. I want to see a Heisman Trophy on here though. This is Road to Glory. There's the Heisman Trophy. It's Cade Klubnik. Walter Ware would get the best running back award, though. I mean, he had 1,800 yards on the ground. I didn't realize we got that much. We're also going to be a first-team All-American, of course, and we have made our way into the playoffs against number 3 Ohio State. That is about as difficult of a first-round matchup as we could have gotten, but we were not properly rated for only having 1 loss. And I do not know how Kentucky possibly finished as number 1 in the country, but if this happened next season, I would cry. Looking at our total season stats, there are 19 rushing touchdowns. We also had 4 receiving touchdowns along with almost 1,000 receiving yards. And I'm sorry, but I feel like that's more impressive than Cade Klubnik's 42 passing touchdowns with 5 picks. We're basically getting the Christian McCaffrey treatment for whenever he was snubbed from the Heisman Trophy. Ohio State scores so many more points per game than us. I think we're in trouble. We even had to play a good team like them on the road since we played against Alabama. I'm still not sure how we won. But you know what? We're off to a good start in this one. Our defense forced a 3 and out, and we're going to run for a first down. There's a path where we could score a touchdown on this drive if it just let me audible over to the strong stretch play. But that is not going to happen because we're on the road, so we're just going to have to send it up the middle and get a couple. We have to keep in mind that we're going to get super tired by the end of the game to where we're almost unusable, so we have to score early. And I don't love that it is already 3rd and 10, but we can definitely catch this to get the chains moving. If we're ever going to be able to audible, Byron Brown's got to get a lot more comfortable in this matchup. I love a 15-yard run. And this is a great spot for the read option where they're going to bite, and he is going to get like 2. We aren't quite in field goal range yet, but we're definitely getting a lot closer. They just made a great play with their defensive end right there, and why are we throwing it backwards? We have no choice but to punt the ball. And thankfully, the Buckeyes did nothing with it. It is still 0-0 as we end the first quarter. Whenever I do these Road to Glories, I never do well in the playoffs. And I am afraid that we have been set up to not have like any success right here. But I just have to have a little bit of hope, and on 3rd and 2, we can keep the drive alive. We've actually been able to start audibling, which is very, very useful. Right here, we're gonna go until we drop it, and I never upgraded anything that had to do with the receiving back because we haven't dropped a pass like that pretty much all year. This is not the time for us to start making some mistakes. Byron Brown is going to throw this one to the flat, and there is no quick drives whenever you're facing a team as good as Ohio State, though that block was beautiful. Our offensive line is doing far better than I ever expected them to. The RPO also was able to fool the Buckeyes, and we just have to continue driving it down the field where getting a handoff would have gotten us a first. Byron Brown just messed it up for us though. I'm a call for the ball. It's thrown behind us, and we have punted it again after getting all the way to the 40. This time Ohio State is going to capitalize on it. We also have such a bad throw from Byron Brown. It is behind us, and this game's about to get out of hand. I don't know what magic was worked though, because we have it back with 45 seconds left. They must have thrown an interception or something. And here we go, 34 seconds left in the half now. We are going to be able to go to midfield. We might not be in an ideal position, but I feel like we can still get a field goal. I just can't drop easy passes like that right there, and this is not the completion we need. The clock is going to continue to run. It is now 3rd and 6, though Walter Ware is going to go all the way to the 20. And here we go. We still might have a couple shots at the end zone before we have to kick our field goal. Never mind. We're going to take the timeout. I'm going to hope that we don't miss. And to start this second half, the wear and tear is already starting to kick in. That was my fear, and they are going to shoot this run, making it 3rd and 4. But I think we just have to run it back, hope that we're able to pick this up, and we are going to be short. Our defense has far exceeded any expectations going into this game, though. They would hold the Buckeyes again. And who would have thought? It's been the offense that has completely let us down, though we're making this catch. Those little dump-offs seem to be our best chance in this game. We're also going to get like 15 yards on the ground. It's just I know the wear and tear effects are going to continue to pick up the farther that we get into this matchup. We can't continue to do that. We almost want to take as much time as we can to score. That's going to be a great throw down to the 10. And I think I have to get this handoff here. We did not get open. I knew it was an RPO, but I didn't think we'd actually throw it. We're able to celebrate in, but I have a feeling this is where Ohio State's going to start scoring. That is exactly what they have done. There is still 6 minutes left in this game. I'm so tired we can actually follow behind our blockers. But if anything, this is probably the final drive of the game. And what is happening? Why wouldn't it let me call for it or move? That was not what I was doing. I was trying to steer ourselves to be far away from that defender. And now we're so tired that we can barely move. But if you take a look right here, we ended up getting just open enough to secure this corner route and then get all the way to the 40. There is still 4 minutes left on the clock, so I'm going to do my best to try and run out more of it as we keep on driving down the field. But I'm afraid that no matter what, our defense is just going to have to stop the Buckeyes. It might actually be better for us to try and score quickly, so if we only get a field goal, we can get it back. And here we go. It is 3rd and 4, man-to-man coverage out there, and we're going to drop the football. That is uncharacteristic. We have to make sure that we don't drop it again, and we're going to be able to go all the way to the 4. I don't know if we have it in us to finish this off. We're going to be short, and I think we're going to have to trust Byron Brown to make a good read, which he does. That was super clutch. Now we just have to trust our D. And take a look at these wear and tear effects. I'm up to -19 speed. We are able to slow down the super sim speed, though, so we can see what is happening. Ohio State's on a 1st and 20, but they picked up a 1st and 10. And I think they're going to get a field goal no matter what. Well, we need to hold them here. They cannot score a touchdown. It is going to be 4th and 9, but apparently time has run out and we have taken down Ohio State on the road. I'm not sure what they managed to mess up, but I don't care. We are moving on. And I know that Texas Tech isn't necessarily any easier, but it feels a lot better than playing the Buckeyes. They still won their conference championship, so they're going to be hard for us to take down. And just keep in mind, we're having all this success with this roster right here. I mean, there's not that many good players on it. Byron Brown should be back for his senior season, though. If this year doesn't go that well, I'm hoping that we somehow make a miraculous run to the championship. And I still haven't decided whether or not this is going to be a full series or just like a one-off video. We are getting the first drive of this game. They are already all over the run. But I think this play call right here is potential. We've not gotten to run this play in a long time, and we could have had a tutty. Walter Ware always gets super open on it. It's going to be a halfback screen on 3rd down. Our blocks aren't getting picked up at all. But you know what? We got enough to move the chains, and now with this little read option, I could have had a huge run. I feel like Byron Brown does not make the right read most of the time, though right here he's able to try and find us. But it is dropped. It is 3rd and 9. This is not how we needed to start this game off versus the Red Raiders. If anything, I wanted a quick touchdown against them, so we didn't use up much of our wear and tear. But a slow, methodical touchdown will also do the trick as long as we take the lead against them, and now we're inside the red zone. All right, it is time for our first halfback stretch of the game. Using that 99 speed, we didn't get much. And it doesn't feel as overpowered in this video as it did whenever I used the perfect halfback earlier in the year. I remember I was able to rush for some insane numbers. Taking this handoff, though, we should score a touchdown. And I guess we're going to be a little bit short right there, but we shouldn't be again. It is 3rd and goal now. They are trying everything to stop the run, but they failed, and they also failed to score against us. Now we're going with 4 verticals, and they could have picked it. I actually had faith that we were about to have a massive play right there. Byron Brown's running for a 1st down, though. And I think I'd consider that a pretty successful first quarter. We're going to have to hope that this is not intercepted as well. I'm putting a lot of faith in him to not throw interceptions. Right here, I'm going to have to try and block for him as he runs, and that's going to get us 6. But at some point, it is time to let Walter Ware pick up the 1st downs for us, and that's going to be enough. Even though this game is not as stressful as the Ohio State one, I'm still feeling a lot of pressure in this. And I think that's because I expect myself to beat Texas Tech, where against Ohio State, I just thought we'd lose. At the moment, it feels like we have a very real path to the semifinals. We're going to be able to catch this for another 1st down. And I am just hoping that we don't turn it over with an interception. You never know what you're going to get out of Byron Brown. Right here, we have been stuck, and now he's missing. But if that pass was on target, I think we had them beat deep. He had the right idea. He just didn't have the right throw. We have spent so much time on this drive just trying to finish things off. I think we might be able to do it right here, though. No, we're short. That ball could not have been marked any closer to the end zone. Just let us get the touchdown. Texas Tech is making it pretty difficult on us. But then their offense comes out onto the field and makes things so much easier, as they did not do anything on their next drive either. I honestly think at this point in the game, Byron Brown's been able to run for more yards than I've been able to, though we almost had it. That would have made things 21-0. I can't believe that they were able to stop us at the last second. I am so disappointed right now. I thought we were actually about to pull that off right there. But I think we should still finish the first half with a 3-possession lead. We're nearing field goal range. We really just need our quarterback to not throw an interception. That got knocked out. And I feel like we could win that battle over on the left side, but even if we don't, we're still able to complete a pass to our crosser. Then we got taken out for a play, but we've been able to get it down to the 7-yard line, and this is going to be completed for a touchdown. So all of a sudden, we might cruise to the semifinals. This entire second half should just be about running out the clock, But we have thrown an interception on our first play. I don't understand why we have to make things harder for ourselves than they already are. We're still going to have plenty of time to run off. But there was no reason for us to force the ball right there, and we're just going to have to make sure we get first downs. Not getting them at this point in the game is like the worst thing that could happen to us. But right now, we seem to be picking them up, and this is my fault. Bad vision. I am a little bit scared that we're about to throw it on this next play, but if we can just complete the pass, we'd be fine. And here we go. It is now 3rd and 9. Big one for us to pick up, but that is some good route running. Just looking at the team stats, we have dominated this game. But there is still 6 minutes left, so we have to make sure we get at least a field goal out of this drive. In order to do so, though, we've got to pick up this 3rd and 5, and the little toss is all that we needed. I'm starting to feel a little bit more confident to where we don't have to run down the clock every time before we snap the ball. But I just hope that's not a mistake on my part, because we all know Byron Brown could still turn it over or also get us down to the 2. This game's actually gone really well for us. It could have been so much closer. And Texas Tech would be able to find the end zone again, but there's only 2 minutes left. Even if we can't pick up a first down, they need so much to go their way. I can't believe we threw it there. And now we're going for it on 4th and 2, where running a route to the outside is all that Walter Ware needed. I'm going to try to hurdle 2 players at once. That might have been a little bit dumb, but it would have been a really, really cool highlight play. And even though we don't need to try and score another touchdown, since we're down here, I am going to. I feel like Walter Ware deserves it. He has done so well in this game. And the next time Texas Tech scores, we'll take a knee. This has to be one of our best offensive performances throughout this entire season. And I didn't realize we had 5 rushing touchdowns, all with Walter Ware. I guess 4 of them came on the ground, but that is something that we would have needed if we wanted to win the Heisman Trophy. We're playing Kentucky in the Fiesta Bowl, and I will be so salty if my favorite team ends our championship run. I want to see them have success, just not right now. We are going to upgrade our elusiveness. I'm not sure if that changed too much. We also should probably upgrade something else, maybe our route running. And now I think we're ready to take on the Wildcats, who are coming in at an 82 overall. This should be like playing against Texas Tech, but they did win the SEC, and that is what worries me the most, so we will see how we do against them. I like this type of start. I couldn't tell you how this team has went 13-1. I know what we're going to put onto the field next year, but maybe they got some hidden players on here I am not aware of. On 2nd down, they are able to knock that out, and I should probably be taking some handoffs, which is what we're going to do, and we're short. We've been fortunate enough, though, to gain yardage by not moving it offensively, and that's because they did nothing with their drive either. Now, our block's not there in time, which means it is now 3rd and 9, but we should be able to break the press, and that also works out. I don't even care if we're getting a bunch of handoffs at this point. I just want us to actually beat Kentucky. But some of these throws from Byron Brown are extremely concerning, so we're going to take the handoff and we're going to get the first. He has lost his throwing permissions for the rest of this drive. It's going to be just strictly runs. But he also has the option to keep it with this option play, and it's going to get a couple more. Now we need him to just make like a 2-yard pass on the halfback screen. We're out in space. All we have to do is outrun that kid. But I should have just trucked through him instead of trying to go for the touchdown. It's 4th and inches. This drive has been way too stressful. We're going to take the inside zone. We're going to get in, and we're going to start off with a lead against Kentucky. They did nothing with the ball besides give it back to us either, which is a pretty good sign. We're able to cut up right here, and we just made like 3 dudes miss at once. There's still 1 guy catching us. That was it right there. It had highlight potential. Instead, we have to keep this drive going. And there is so much time left in this game. I'm not sure how we got around that, though. On 2nd and short, they are coming down pressing, but they've backed up everybody, so we're going to be open to take it inside the red zone. You just got to go with whatever the defense is giving you. I can tell you right now, it's probably not going to be a touchdown, though, the way that they're packed in. And number 12 has been the defensive player of the game for them so far, but he can't stop me there. Now we're running an RPO. I'm a little bit worried about it, but he got burned. And after going all the way down the field, Kentucky was not able to score on their drive, which means we have it, and that's going to be a good pass. I still don't know if number 12 is going to be able to press our fastest guy over here. We'll see if they actually pull it off. It's not a great pass, but I don't like that move, because now if we don't get this 3rd down, we would have punted it back to them. Byron Brown is making the throws that count, though. Also throwing it on the run, we're able to get a little bit more than a first. It's just these hurdles have not worked out for us like once, and I am so determined to keep on going to them. We caught that. At the moment, we are setting up to end this first half in field goal range. We're also going to get to the 20, and I am feeling more and more confident if we could just get this pass. I know that if they go with man-to-man coverage, we're going to have the easiest way to get open, and we should be able to beat them over to the sidelines, or we could cut back. That is such a tight throw. I'm I'm not sure why he tried to put it there. We're going to make it 17-0. And our defense is also going to start the second half getting an interception, which means we have the ball inside the 30-yard line. This game feels easier than some of our American Conference matchups, and this team won the SEC. Shout out to the sim logic on this game for making that possible. We're going to take this handoff and get closer to the end zone. But I just haven't been able to finish off runs the way I thought we would. Maybe it's because we're sitting at 6-5. Either way, this game feels like it is completely over. We're going to take a sack. And that's completely my fault. We should be running the ball in those spots. There is no reason for us to still be trying to throw it. I just know that we've been running the same run plays all year, and I've kind of gotten bored of them, so I want to switch things up. But this is probably not the time to do that, and right here, we are going to get another first. Just for right now, it is still technically a 3-possession game, but a field goal changes that. And we should be able to come away with that on this drive now that we're down in this spot, but that's a great pass for a touchdown. I didn't even touch the field in the fourth quarter. That is how much of a blowout it was. And somehow our first round game was the most difficult one so far. It looks like we will be playing the Heisman Trophy winner in the national championship though. And I thought this might turn into a series, but it could just be a one-off video since we've had such a good year. We have far exceeded expectations. We also have 3 more skill points that we can spend, and I think I'm going to put it on takeoff since we catch so many passes. This is it right here. We have made it all the way to the national championship. Over 2,000 rushing yards, 26 touchdowns, though they do score more points per game. And I feel like I didn't even explore like any practices throughout this video because we were already so good. The rushing attacks felt too easy. We'll see what I think of this elusiveness one. I think I'm supposed to run through and hit like that gold circle. But the way to do that would just be running around like this, making sure they don't have an angle to catch us, and then going for it again. It actually doesn't seem that difficult. I just don't have the patience for it. And I just hope this isn't bad luck before we play against Clemson. They are 13 overalls better than us. But our defense doesn't play like it's a 77. It's played exceptionally well throughout the playoffs. We have also been blessed with an exceptional start because of where they just forced a turnover. We're scoring in like our first play. And I don't think we could have opened up things any better. If you look at the play history, it looks like they had a drop pass, one was knocked away, it was a bad throw, and then we recovered a fumble. That must have been on the punt, which means Clemson had some trouble with the snap, but now we're taking a sack. I was so excited with how we just started things, but I'm pretty sure they're about to hold us to a 3-and-out. And then they're gonna have a chance to tie things back up, though we can call for the ball right here, and they can get an interception. That is on me. I probably shouldn't have even called for it, but I wanted to make sure we had a chance of getting a first. And now that they've scored, things are all tied up at 7, but we're completing this. There is still a very long game ahead of us. Using the stretch, I didn't read it right. And confidence is not at an all-time high because our only points came because of an easy setup. Here we go though, 3rd and 10. I'm gonna call for the ball underneath. I've been doing this all season, and it ended up working out for us. Now they're gonna run man-to-man, but I was not the one to get this. That was a very fast first quarter, but I feel like we're handling things pretty well. Taking this stretch, we just have to get around that one kid. And the habit of using spin moves instead of juke moves is still something that I am struggling with. I'm ready to pull it out right here though, especially if they stop the run early. And Byron Brown's gonna have to make the right read with the read option. I'm not sure he did. Here we go now, 3rd and 5. He's probably gonna immediately throw it to the tight end. Instead, he hits us though. And I never see that on that play. Every single time he seems to throw it to the drag before I can call for it. That kind of worked out for us, but the Heisman winner has led them down the field again. There's that drag. And I feel like I'm going for more success through the air than anything else, but as long as we continue to score, that does not matter. We still have a minute and a half left in this first half. We didn't get the ball first, and I just want to make sure that we get at least a field goal right here. That was not a good read though. It is now 3rd and 8, and we're forcing it to a corner route, which actually worked out pretty well. Maybe we can trust Byron Brown. No, we can't. He had no idea where that pass was going, so he just took an instant sack off of the blitz. Now he's thrown it to Clemson, and there's no way that we're going to be able to pick up the first down from here, but we can get close enough to make sure that we get at least a field goal. That ended up not being as bad as I thought it would be. Using the reverse, this is a terrible way to start the 3rd quarter, and this play calling is driving me insane at the moment, though we should have gotten that. Well, picking up a 3rd and 26 simply is not going to happen unless we get this ball right where we need it to. And hang on, Walter, where? All the way to the crib. We have just changed something that was not going well at all. It was placed perfectly. It wasn't a bullet pass straight into their hands for an interception. But you know who isn't going away? Clemson. They were able to score a touchdown extremely quick. I am afraid it is going to be incredibly difficult to take them down, though we should be able to move the chains right here and maybe get more. I have not been able to win a championship this entire year on College Football 25 in Road to Glory, so this would be massive if we pulled this off. And do you know what else is massive? The type of game that Walter Ware is having at the moment, though he's getting stuffed here. That is a little bit unfortunate, though I'm calling for it, and Byron Brown didn't throw it. I mean, he did, but way too late. He had to set his feet and everything. Now we're calling for it again. But he isn't getting it out quick enough, so Clemson gets the ball back. Thankfully, though, our defense somehow has held them to a 3-and-out, so we have it again. And we'll see if he can be a little bit quicker getting the ball out on this drive like he did on this play. Okay, it is now 3rd and 4, and we are going to get open. There's a flag, though. I don't know who it's going to be against. We just had an interception if it's against us, though. All right, Clemson celebrating. The camera's on them. That means it is going to be PI against them, and we are accepting that, of course. I think the pressure's starting to get to me because we are actually set up to win this, and I really don't like the fact that we are starting to deal with negative effects from wear and tear now. We have not had any of these all game until this point. We're going to get just enough, and this should be the final play before the 2-minute warning, which is a pretty big deal. The problem is we still have to pick up at least one more first down, and we just aren't getting the blocks there, which means it is now 3rd and 12, and we're open, but instead we throw it to Clemson, and they're going to be able to take it down the sideline. If we don't catch them here, I honestly hope we don't catch them here. We have to drive down the field and score a touchdown. I don't know what Byron Brown was thinking. I was spamming for the ball. And take a look at the wear and tear damage we're dealing with. -7 speed. I was playing so conservatively because I knew the interception could come off of something like that. And sure enough, it did. Now our blocks are not there for the inside zone. All right, here we go. It is 3rd and 3 now, calling for it immediately like I was before the pick. And it should be noted that I have 181 receiving yards in this game, and it's just going to keep on increasing. There's only about a minute left on the clock now. We're going to run the slant and I think use a timeout. But I'm afraid I'll be taken off the field. That has not been the case, though. We are still out there. And what is this? What are we doing? Why? I am never in my life going to win a championship in Road to Glory. I'm so disappointed. I fought another illness just to come back and film this video and still fall short. This is the most heartbreaking way that we've lost a championship in a Road to Glory, because we should have won it all. Like, we were right there. We had it in our hands. There were 2 minutes left, and Byron Brown handed it to Clemson. I don't have much of a voice at the moment, but I can still appreciate these career stats from Walter Ware. He came up big for us this season. He had so many receiving yards, but no championship. This is a disastrous way for his freshman year to end, but if this video gets enough likes, maybe, just maybe, he'll return to try and win the Heisman and a national championship.